British Columbia Institute of Technology acknowledges that our campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish nations of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh.
From the Broadcast Center at BCIT's Burnaby Campus, this is All Talk Radio. You're listening to 1680 The Crow.
Good morning and welcome to BCIT's The Crow. I'm Alessio Cusano, and here are your 10:30 news headlines. Police say alcohol is suspected to be a factor in a multi-vehicle accident Saturday where one vehicle crashed into a store. North Vancouver RCMP says the crash occurred at the 300 block of Brooksbank Avenue, the location of the Park and Silver shopping mall. The RCMP says a woman driving one of the vehicles involved in the crash is being investigated for possible alcohol-related offenses. The RCMP says the accident occurred at about 8 p.m. and there were no injuries. Canadian Jewish leaders are warning of a national crisis as the number of hateful incidents targeting Jews doubled in 1 year. Bina Birth Canada says it documented nearly 5,800 incidents of anti-Semitism in 2023, including acts of violence, harassment, and vandalism, way more than 2,800 in 2022. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau spoke about the rise in anti-Semitism since the October 7th Hamas attack at a memorial event in Ottawa recognizing Holocaust Remembrance Day.
Threatening, harassing, and excluding Canadians because of their faith, their identity, or because they support the Jewish people's right to self-determination in their ancestral homeland is absolutely unacceptable.
Pro-Palestine campaign at McGill University in Montreal is stretching into a second week. Thanks to donated materials and community support, organizers said they have prepared for many days to come. Protester Ari Nauman says encampments in Canada follow a similar wave to protests in the U.S. in response to the Israel-Hamas war.
We are inscribing ourselves in a larger student movement, international movement. We're talking about like many countries now. We're not just on Turtle Island, like there's Europe, there's South America. So we are hoping to see divestment, and we do have hope that it is achievable.
A Vancouver man who is losing his vision is looking for somebody to take over his massive collection of books. John Williams says the time has come for him to say goodbye to his collection of about 3,500 books that fill up more than 12 bookshelves in his apartment. Williams says he would like a person in their 30s or 40s to take over and keep the books for another 20 or 30 years before passing it on to another person. He says he's built a spreadsheet detailing each book he has up for sale and has already found some buyers who are mostly homeschool families and university students. Moving on to U.S. politics, with the 2024 U.S. presidential election exactly 6 months away, Joe Biden and Donald Trump are locked in the first contest in 112 years, with a current and former U.S. president competing for the White House. Reporter Stephen Portnoy has more on the two.
The ABC News Ipsos poll shows 57% disapprove of the job Joe Biden is doing. That's on par with Donald Trump's disapproval in the depths of the pandemic. But as a person, Biden is viewed a bit more favorably than Trump. On key issues, Trump has a significant advantage. He's trusted more to handle the economy, inflation, immigration, and crime. Biden's strengths, health care, and abortion access. He's also viewed as more honest, though Trump is seen as more physically healthy and mentally sharp.
On to entertainment. A-list celebrities from film, fashion, music, sports, politics, and social media are getting ready to walk up the grand staircase at New York's Metropolitan Museum of Art for the Met Gala. The party for about invited 400 guests is a huge fundraiser for the Met's Costume Institute, which is the only department at the museum required to pay for itself. Last year, the gala raised about $22 million. This year's theme is the Garden of Time. Now across the pond, King Charles III coronation anniversary has been marked in London under soggy skies with ceremonial gunfire. A 41-gun salute by the King's Troop Royal Horse Artillery in Green Park ran out next to Buckingham Palace at noon on Monday. It was followed by an hour later by the Honourable Artillery Company cracking off 62 shots from Tower Wharf next to Tower Bridge. Charles and Queen Camilla were crowned on May 6, 2023 in Westminster Abbey in a glitzy spectacle that echoed medieval times as he was anointed as monarch after Mother Queen Elizabeth II's passing in 2022. Moving on to weather, it is currently 11 degrees with a 60% chance of precipitation. The precipitation chance will keep on going up throughout the day before tomorrow, where sun is expected then and the rest of the week.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.
Sorry, something got played. It's not supposed to play yet. Or wait, is it? Fuck. Frick. I mean. Don't go yet. We're supposed to still be on the
British Columbia Institute of Technology acknowledges that our campuses are located on...
This is sports on 1680 The Crow.
Good morning, I'm Jacob Fraser, and this is your 1040 Sports Update. The schedule has been set for the Vancouver Canucks Round 2 matchup against the Edmonton Oilers. Puck drop for Game 1 will take place on Wednesday in Vancouver. The Canucks and the Oilers are the only two remaining Canadian teams in the NHL playoffs. The Canucks have beaten the Oilers in all 4 of their previous matchups this season. Winnipeg Jets head coach Rick Bowness has announced he is retiring from coaching after 38 seasons in the NHL. Bowness served as a coach for 8 different teams in his career, including serving as an associate coach for the Canucks during their 2011 Stanley Cup final run. Bowness is one of 3 head coaches to serve behind the bench in 5 different decades. His 2,726 games as an NHL coach are the most by anyone in league history. Canada's under-18 ice hockey team brought home gold yesterday in a win over the United States. 16-year-old Yukon native Gavin McKenna led the way for Canada, scoring 3 goals and adding an assist in the final game. Here's the call for a second goal, which tied the game halfway through the third period.
Marteau, Aguila, cutting in front, shot, score! He did it again! Gavin McKenna, 3-3 game!
McKenna recorded a Canadian record-setting 20 points in the 7 games played during the tournament, breaking the previous record set by Chicago Blackhawks star Connor Bedard and Edmonton Oilers star Connor McDavid. The roster has been set for Canada's men's ice hockey world championship team. This year's team features 3 BC natives, Vancouver-born forwards Connor Bedard and Macklin Celebrini, along with Cranbrook-born defenseman Bowen Byram, who spent his junior career with the Vancouver Giants. The tournament kicks off on May 10th, with Canada starting off their tournament May 11th in a game against Great Britain. 32-year-old Ontario native Taylor Pendrith has won his first career PGA Tour event. Pendrith won the CJ Cup Byron Nelson with a score of -23, shooting a 67 on the final day to cement his victory. Pendrith's win is the largest purse he's ever taken home from a single event on the PGA Tour, earning himself $1.71 million. Pendrith says he was able to harness jitters to get the win.
Everybody wants that opportunity to have a putt to win a PGA Tour event. I was nervous for sure, and my caddy, we've been working on our communication as well, and he said, this is the straightest putt you've had all year, just knock it in, and was able to do that.
Alex Manoah has made his 2024 season debut for the Toronto Blue Jays. Manoah allowed 6 runs in 4 innings while striking out 6 batters. Manoah, who was a Cy Young finalist in the American League 2 years ago, has struggled since then at the major league level. Since 2023, Manoah has posted a 6.42 ERA in the MLB. The Seattle Mariners are heading over to Minnesota to face the Twins, who have won 12 of their past 13 games. This series marks the first time Mariners starting shortstop Jorge Polanco is returning to Minnesota since being traded from the Twins on January 29th. Polanco spent over a decade in the Twins organization, playing just under 800 games with the team, along with being named an All-Star one time. Victoria native and former BC Lions quarterback Nathan Rourke has been waived by the New England Patriots. This move comes after the Patriots selected 2 rookie quarterbacks in the 2024 NFL Draft, including 3rd overall pick Drake May, as well as adding veteran Jacoby Brissett in free agency. Rourke was previously picked up off waivers by the Patriots from the Jacksonville Jaguars last season. Last night, Netflix held a live event in Inglewood, California, called The Greatest Roast of All Time. Front and center was former New England Patriots and Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback Tom Brady. The 3-hour event featured comedians, former teammates, coaches, and friends of Brady gathering to roast the all-time great. This was also the first public reunion.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.
everything is changing to digital. Everything is online. People aren't just waiting for the 6 o'clock news anymore. People want their news right now. They want to be able to go onto their smartphone, onto the internet, and see the news that they want to see.
Vancouver is growing at, a really rapid rate, the Lower Mainland even, and with the tools that we're given here, we're able to cover all of that.
Welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Radhika Sikki-King.
In the program, they really leave it up to you. I mean, the help is there when you need it, figuring out how to use the programs like Premiere, Audition, and figuring out how to use the cameras. But it's up to you to sort of experiment and figure out what you can do when you go out in the field.
They brought candles and flowers to remember the student who lost her life yesterday.
Theresa May says the international community condemns Moscow.
They really make sure that you know the basics and you are able to put out a quality product.
I'm Brady Tretanero.
And I'm Radhika Sikki-King. Thank you for tuning in to BCIT Magazine.